What's going on YouTube? It's your boy CamATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad. Comment anything in the comment section and enter your name into that $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. We have NBA and MLB coming up. We have MLB starting at noon. So we got to get to it. All right. I'm going to go in. We're going to kind of go position by position. I'll talk about guys that I love the most, but I'm not really going to lock anybody in here. We're just going to go position by position for this one and go that way. All right. Now, let's start off at pitcher and look at who we like. All right. We got to get through this video so you guys can get to it. Y'all can go to greenlightdfs.com to join the squad, play with the optimizer a little bit, and get ready to smash today. All right. We have our MLB optimizer and an NBA optimizer available on greenlightdfs.com. Who else has that? Outside of like the huge sites. What providers have MLB and NBA optimizers available for their people? I spent thousands, 10 plus thousands of dollars to get both optimizers made, and they run flawlessly for GPPs, all right? Do not play cash games with them. They are GPP. They are meant for GPP. They're meant for a high upside. Everybody who gets a membership, a daily pass or weekly pass or season long or whatever, gets access to them, okay? Now, let's get straight into it. Now, starting off at pitcher, Aaron Savali is a solid pitcher. He had a good outing his first go out, getting over 26 DraftKings points. He's got a tough matchup here against Minnesota, though. So the crazy part is, we had Shane Bieber go out and dominate. Then we had Clevenger go out. And then we had Carrasco. I grabbed Carrasco. He only got me 12 or something like that. So that was my luck. I was avoiding playing a pitcher against Minnesota because Minnesota's got some power bats in it. All of a sudden I decide, okay, fine. I'm going to go Carrasco because this pitching slate sucks. Yesterday's pitching sucked. Same kind of situation as today. The pitching on this slate sucks. It's one of those slates where you just spend down at pitching and get all the bats and you just hope your pitching comes through because there's just not a ton of good pitching on this slate. My favorite spot for pitching, I won't be going much Savali against Minnesota. John Lester is interesting. I'm not aware of the weather at this moment. I don't believe any weather information has been released yet, but I will check that as I'm talking to you about it. Obviously, if the wind is blowing in, John Lester in Wrigley is going to be solid. Pitchers in Wrigley with the wind blowing in is always a great option, and that could be a safe option for us if we end up getting that information. Well, we will get that information, but if I get that information during this live, I'm not 100% sure how it's looking right now. As of right now, let me see if I can get an update. As of right now, it does look like it's blowing in a little bit, but it looks like it's going to be rainy. So that could be one of the serious rain issue games. Let's, you know what? Let's start this video that way. Let's start with the weather real quick. Let's start at the first games. Let's see what we got here. Now, Tampa Bay Rays, Baltimore Oriole probably has the best weather of the day. It's 90 degrees in Baltimore, wind blowing out 10 miles per hour. So a Tampa Bay stack or even a Baltimore side stack. Either way, get exposure to that game. It's seeming like that's going to be a really good game. Not much of a rain chance, only like 10% or so. It's not going to be too crazy. It's 88 degrees for the Atlanta Mets game. That's a good offensive game. Winds blowing in 9 miles per hour in the Chicago White Sox Royal game. And honestly, that's where it comes down to some of my favorite pitchers. All right, Dylan Cease and Jacob Junis are two pitchers that I'm interested in here. I know it says out on DK. They need to get that shit together because he's starting today. Jacob Junis and Dylan Cease. These are the two options that I'm kind of interested in. Cease he got blown up in his first start against Cleveland, okay? But that's Cleveland, all right? Going against KC, both of these teams have strikeouts in their lineup. Now, understand the White Sox just went bonkers yesterday. They went crazy, and it could be scary to do this. But with the wind blowing in at 9 miles per hour, we do have a little bit of rain chances here, though. Over 15% the entire game. So if we happen to get a delay, that would be an issue. Obviously, you need to stay up to that before lock. But these two pitchers seem like they could be solid options on this slate. I mean, they're not great, but none of this pitching is great. All right. So Junis and Cease are two guys that I could go with. I'm perfectly fine with going with either one of those guys. Other options that I like I said, John Lester. If the wind ends up blowing in heavy, it is blowing in 5 miles per hour, but if that rain chances goes down, I mean, it's over a 50% chance. So that could really end up postponing. That could become a major issue there in Chicago. Yani Torinos is a guy I'm really interested in because I really want some exposure to the wind is blowing out heavy and it's bad here, right? But Yani is a guy that, remember when Tampa Bay would bring in one pitcher and pitch him for like an inning, and then Yani would come in long relief? I used him a bunch last year. Now, he was down to like 5K most of the time. All right, but now he's up to 8.6, so this is a little bit of a worry, but Yani is a safe option, and on this slate, you might just need that safety. You might just need 15, and you're good. 10 to 15 out of your pitchers, and you're good, as long as your hitters do what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, last night, for example, I paid up for both of my pitchers because I did not end up feeling safe towards lock with those other options, okay? Kikuchi ended up going bonkers, though, so our GPP smashed, but I didn't feel super safe with those options, and I didn't feel comfortable giving that to my people. So I spent up on pitching, and I spent down on bats. Reddick went off for Houston, hitting a home run, scoring over 20 DraftKings points, and he was 2,000. Compared to, there's some guys who are over 5,000 in the Coors game who didn't do shit. That's what I mean. Always get your pitching right as well as you can, and then move on to bats and handle those next, okay? So on this slate, though, it's a difficult situation because there's really no star pitchers, and all of the pitchers it's just not great. Okay, so Yani Torinos, for me right now, Yani Torinos, Junis, Cease, who else would I be interested in at all? Really nothing. That's it. I've got about 3 pitchers I'm interested in on this slate. All right, let's go ahead and talk first base. I mentioned to you guys my favorite stack just off gut, straight up right now. First look, getting into this slate. At first base, I really am interested in possibly grabbing a Tampa Bay. The guy that sticks out to me a lot is, let me go to him, Mike Brazile. Now, Mike Brazile's got some power in that bat. He's got a 500 average so far this year. He's really been looking good. He's got the righty-lefty matchup against Malone, which is a great situation for him. It's just a great spot. If you don't need money because you're spending way down on pitchers today, and you can go anybody, obviously, like Will Myers and Coors will be playable. Pete Alonso is fine. Jose Martinez, righty-lefty against Malone as well. Martinez hits lefties really well. I really like that as well. So that's my favorite options right there. So you could spend all the way up Pete Alonso, or then you could go Will Myers, Jose Martinez, or Mike Brazile. Those are the guys that really stick out to me right now. All right, let's go to second base. At second base, the options are, obviously, as always, we have a game in Coors, so the offense should happen there. You don't have to force anything because the shit's been whack lately. I completely understand if you want to get off of it and not worry too much about it and get some exposure to this Baltimore game, which I honestly think this Baltimore game is going to go off. I think Tampa Bay is going to have a great day, but you never really know. But second base, the guy I'm looking at, obviously, is going to be like some Ozzy Albies. Albies hits lefties really well. He's a solid option there. You can pay Mike Brazile at second base as well. Other options, you could go Robinson Cano as a cheap value play if he does bat in the heart of this order against the righty. He's got the lefty-righty matchup. Or you could go Profar at 4.9 in Coors. Ryan McMahon really sticks out to me for Colorado, though. He's probably one of my favorites right there. Ryan McMahon, lefty-righty matchup, 4.7 in Coors. So it comes down to him or Ozzy Albies or Profar or Mike. So those 4 guys are the options that I like at second base as well. All right, third base. Let's talk about it because obviously we're going to have some big dogs here. Manny Machado and Nolan Aronado. When it comes to those 2, I probably lean Manny Machado solely on the fact that he is cheaper. Both of these guys are going against bad pitchers. Both of these pitchers in Coors are bad. You would expect it to be like 20 runs in this game. But like DFS always happens to do, they tend to suck. Take a sip of my coffee real quick. Anyway, hey man, y'all got me early, okay? So if I got to take a sip of some coffee, I got to take a sip of some coffee, okay? Anyway, so yeah, at third base, Manny Machado's my preferred, probably over Nolan Arenado, even though Colorado's been the stack lately. I still like Manny at a cheaper price. But both of them are fine options. You guys know, I'm going to mention it again, I love Tampa Bay. Yandy Diaz, righty-lefty matchup against Malone. To be honest with you, Tampa Bay is one of my favorite options for sure, to sprinkle around with some Coors probably. And it's just, it comes down to pitching, man. No matter what you go for pitching today, you're probably going to be on edge. I mean, it just is what it is. And, you know, it's probably going to be very easy to get Coors today because you don't have to spend up on any crazy pitching. But both of your pitchers still are going to be in that 7-8K range, as we saw. So, I mean, you're probably going to have to skip out on some Coors bats, but that's fine. Get the safest pitcher you can possibly get and go from there. All right, but yeah, at third base, my favorite options are spending up for Manny, Machado, Nolan, Aronado, or spending down to Yani Diaz. All right, you're not going to have to go any cheaper than that because we just don't have any superstar pitchers we're spending on. Next up, Fernando Tatis is my favorite shortstop. He's been my guy, and I'm going to stick with him. If that Chicago game plays, Javier Baez versus a lefty, Brault is a great option as well. And then Willy Adames for Tampa Bay. Obviously, another Tampa Bay guy. I got to do it position by position. Love me some Willy Adames. So Fernando Tatis, Trevor Story, Baez if that weather calms down, and Willy Adames are my options at shortstop that I really like. In the outfield, we got a lot of different ways we can go here. I'm going to start it off with an Atlanta Brave because I love me some Atlanta Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr. I really love Acuna here. Righty-lefty matchup against Peterson. It's a fantastic spot. He crushes lefties. He just finally hit a home run last night. He should be coming in with some confidence. Acuna is a great play. He's going to have a great game for sure. Another guy, Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham is another guy that is fairly consistent that I can see having a good game here. Really, what sticks out to me here, though, is the Colorado lefties, okay? Dahl and Blackman. These are two guys that I like. 5'3" for Dahl. Blackman's 5'6", so you're going to have to pay a premium for him. Christian Yelich is hurt, I guess. He's missing it, I guess? Oh, no, it's postponed. They're not playing. Anyway, that threw me off seeing that. Anyways. But yeah, the lefties for Colorado really stick out to me in the outfield outside of Ronald Acuna. Dahl and Blackman, I really like. I think Colorado's got some dangerous lefties in this lineup that can do damage versus Davies. Next up, another guy I want to mention, Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham is a very consistent hitter. He actually came in to pinch hit yesterday and hit a home. No, he didn't pinch hit. He batted fifth or sixth after Will Myers. But he hit a home run, and it's a great spot for him here, lefty-righty against Senzatella. All right, so Trent Grisham's a great option. I'm going to stick, look, I've been mentioning a lot of this dude. And look, it's DFS, so me of all people, I don't lose faith on people, but I just got to say real quick. Let me find him. Hunter Renfro. Now, the dude's been atrocious. All right, look at this. He had a huge game against Atlanta where he hit 2 home runs, okay? He got 35. Now, that just shows his upside. He's got major upside. Now, Renfro has a righty-lefty matchup against Malone. Wind blowing out 10 miles per hour a little bit to left field. And he's a righty, so that's better for righties. Righties love that wind blowing out to left. That's better for them. They can turn on the ball and crush that shit over the outfield wall. So I really love Hunter Renfro. I think he's in a great spot here. I think he could really blow up in this game. I don't know what it is, but I am really all over Tampa Bay. Once again, I'll say that again. Anyway, another guy. I know I kind of like the White Sox, Kansas City pitchers, but Nelson Cruz is always in play. He's a solid option. He's just been hitting the ball really, really well this year. Every year he pretty much hits the ball. Obviously, the Mets lefties, Conforto, and those guys are going to be options for sure. Anybody else? Oh, Marcel Ozuna. Marcel Ozuna is another guy I really like. Righty-lefty matchup. There's some Atlanta Braves that you could definitely sprinkle in here. The Braves have been a very consistent offense. Ozuna's been playing really, really well. So outside of Tampa Bay. So the main focus is look, obviously, we're not having to spend a ton on pitching. If you don't want to full stack Colorado, I completely understand. I probably won't be getting a ton of exposure to it today as I normally have because of what we're just stuck with. But Tampa Bay and Atlanta are the two other offenses I really want exposure to, okay? Tampa Bay or Atlanta, one of those team stacks are going to take down a GPP tonight. Mark my words. Mark my words. A Tampa Bay or an Atlanta stack is going to take down a GPP today. I can't call which one. All right? And that's about it, man. I'm going to leave you guys to it, let you guys do it. I went position by position. We were able to talk about a whole bunch of different options. Pitching is a really tough position today. It is really, really hard. Pretty much do your best to choose like I said, the guys I like, it's Torinos, Cease, Junis. None of them feel comfortable. Okay, if this rain chances dies down in Chicago, then I will be down to get some Chicago pitching. All right, but I will want the Chicago side of it versus Pittsburgh, okay? And that's about it. So I would go John Lester if the wind dies down. All right, thank you guys for joining me as always. Greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad, man. Let's smash this slate at noon. Both NBA and MLB will be starting early, so we'll pretty much get the rest of our day to just chill and watch our money grow. Thank you guys for joining me. Drop that like down below or the dislike if you hate me, and I'm out. Peace.